Great. So let's start. I don't have a fancy PPT today. Didn't really get much time to work on the PPT, but yeah, idea is pretty simple. We'll try to cover and address uh, majority. So 50% of the time we'll spend in addressing whatever questions that you have thrown in the Google form, and 50% we'll talk about the miscellaneous items that you need to prepare, mostly from the informative piece. By the end of this, we will share that summary document, those 50 current affairs topic that will be shared at the end, so that you guys stay till the end and make best use of this. Okay. Before we start, I want an answer from most of you. Like, what is the most important thing that you guys feel in your GDPI preparation? कि यार ये कर लिया तो my most of the interviews would be sorted. One single most thing in your GDPI preparation.
Communication skills.
Okay, communication.
Knowing about
If
oneself.
I'm able to revise,
Yeah. If I'm able to.
revise my grads properly, I think I would be able to do. I would be able to give a good interview.
Okay. So you're saying graduation is the most important thing in your GDPI preparation. Okay. Someone has said
Yeah.
knowing about yourself. Okay.
Expressing myself.
Expressing yourself, but to express yourself you should first of all know yourself, right? Only then you'll be able to express yourself. Okay, but yeah, fair. This is pretty much aligned with the communication skill wala part. What else?
Career choice questions like
Can you expand on
career
this?
decisions.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sir, like career decisions that you have taken. To
Okay.
explain that.
Okay, fair. Anything else?
Sir,
Fine.
I guess the most important thing in any interview is the ability to sell yourself. No matter whether you are a topper or you are a failure in any class, in any college also. If you're able
Mhm.
to sell yourself that I am the best candidate for your college, I'll get the best
Okay.
placement. I will make sure that the name of the college is in the top list of the placement recruiters. Then
Fair. Okay,
definitely
great.
interviewer, the panelists will be happy to
Great.
send.
Okay. Anyone who feels my CAT score, my SNAP score, my ZAT score, my AFT score is the most important thing in my preparation, or my 10, 12 is the most important thing in the preparation, or my profile or my CV is the most important thing. No one feels that way.
Earlier, I used to think, but now that notion has changed,
That's
and
great.
especially your
Great.
this Prepzone has changed it. Like after seeing that, people getting converted at even lesser percentiles.
Thanks. Great. So I think better late than never. I'm glad that the perception changed even before you started your GDPI preparation. That's a good change. Most of it is correct. But yeah, of course, there is a weightage that, okay, what is the most important thing? If I have to prioritize one thing, what would that be? So in the second slide, like in the next slide, I'll talk about the 6 most important focus areas that no matter from wherever you are preparing, prep zone, beyond, or by yourself, these are the 6 pillars. These are the 6 levers, 6 areas or functional areas that you must cover. And maybe Shayan and Prashant can just add on to it. But first thing is, and the most important thing is your personals, your HR or your SOP. So if you have to prioritize today that what is it that I should do to begin my preparation, it has to be the personals. And what do I mean by personals? It covers all of those questions like TMSAY, which is tell me something about yourself in 1 minute. Now, of course, we all know ki I'm Shubham Ranka. I'm from the city of Udaipur. I did my schooling from this. My 10th percentage was this. My graduation, but no, that is where these skills and these mentorship comes into the picture, that those are the standard conventional answers, right? So when I'm talking about introducing yourself, it has to be something that is not mentioned as a part of your CV or as a part of your form, because your form, your catch is already available with the interviewer. So you don't want to waste that 1 minute, one precious minute that you're given to introduce yourself. And that is the key moment where you can also route the entire interview to a particular direction that is your strength, so that the interviewer is allowed to ask you following questions on that, right? So personal HR SOP is, first of all, knowing yourself. And by knowing myself, it is basically a bottoms up approach, right? So Prashant sir has this fantastic way of using the bottoms up approach, that you start with you. Me, I'm Shubham. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of my name, Shubham? Shubham Jain. So Jain. What is this entire Jainism community is all about? And what do I do? Okay. Then what does my brother do? What does my sister do? What does my mother do? What does my father do? My father is working in a particular textile company. What is the textile company shaping like? What has been COVID impact on this textile company, right? So all of that related to me and my family is something that I would start with. Then I would say that okay, I'm from the city of Udaipur. I would want to talk about Udaipur. I would want to learn about Udaipur. So Udaipur कहाँ पे है, क्या है, what are the top three things about Udaipur? If I have to, what are the major facts about Udaipur? Why is it called as a city of lakes? And major attraction. Three things if I have to change about Udaipur, what would those be? Who was the first mayor of Udaipur to who is the king today? All of those facts should be on my fingertips if I'm from a city called Udaipur. Then Udaipur comes under Rajasthan, right? Then everything about Rajasthan. How many districts are there in Rajasthan? Who's the first CM? Who's the last CM? Last three CM? Who's the last lady CM? How many seats are there from Rajasthan? Everything about Rajasthan is something that I should be aware of. When is the Rajasthan Day celebrated? So this will be the third case that I would start working on. Then I would come to Rajasthan ke nearby states, and then I'll go to the country India, then Asia, and then global. So that is the bottoms up approach. And of course, there is a number of other things, but at least till India level, though you should be knowing. And at least I'm sure if you want to start learning it today, you'll spend 7 days. You can Google, you can watch videos, and you'll be able to at least come out with those in-depth things about yourself. And this is what we mean when we say that you have to start knowing about yourself. It is not limited to कि तुम्हारा 10 12 percentage CAT percentile. That is not something that defines you, right? So this is the direction or the way in which you should start learning about yourself. That's what we cover in personals. Then of course questions like why MBA, क्यों करना है, अभी करना है, बाद में करना है, इंजीनियरिंग के बाद MBA कर रहा हूँ, क्यों कर रहा हूँ, why have I wasted 4 years, पता था MBA करना है तो BBA क्यों नहीं किया, why only MBA, why not MS, why not MTech, right? GRE क्यों नहीं दिया, CAT क्यों दिया, why not GMAT, why MBA now versus doing MBA 3 years down the line, why not startup? So all of those questions evolve, and it could be bucketized under YMBA. That is the most important question that comes under personals. Then of course other secondary questions like strength, weakness. What is your weakness? For example, if I ask majority of you what is your weakness, you will just say it in a one-worded format. Ideally, so as maybe to just give you an instance, in an MBA, the ideal way if I have to approach the weakness question, I would say कि ठीक है, ABC is my weakness, and I feel this is my weakness because I came across this particular situation and I reacted in this fashion. And whenever I'm exposed to certain things, this is how I react, and I know it's not good. So I feel that this is my weakness. However, I'm doing one, two, three things to sort of overcome it. While I have not really overcome it right now, but I have been trying to do it, and I'm sure I'll be able to overcome that. So every weakness has to be associated with a way or a sort of remedial that you're trying to overcome that particular weakness. Similarly, if I'm asking you strength, you can't simply say, "Sir, I'm a hard-working person." Matlab, if you tell it to me in an interview, you're like directly rejected because these are like globe adjectives that almost every underprepared student would be used. So a better way to sort of frame your strength could be, sir, I am a very diversified person and I feel so about myself because I did my engineering in electrical. Even though spending 4 years into electrical, I was a fast learner. I learned IT from a particular project, and then I finally did my first job into the IT segment. And वहां से मैंने ये switch लिया. So I have been doing these many 2 3 4 things, and all of these are like messy components. They are not directly attached to itself, but still I have been performing good in each of the areas that I've been working with. And hence I feel that I am a diversified person. I have different skill set associated with me. Just a very sample random example to throw it to, that how do you justify your strengths, right? So again, just some of the sample question in total. At least here what we do is there's a personal HR question bank that we share, which has around 40 to 43 question bank. A subset of it is something that we have already shared with all the students for free. I'll also share that drive link after this session. That is not the exhaustive personal question bank, but that has 20-25 question, at least 50% of the major questions that we help students prepare with. I'll share that with you guys, okay? So the idea is, and every answer has to be very personalized. You can't simply Google and say ki, "Okay, why MBA?" If someone asks me why marketing, these are the 3 pointers that I have to say that this is why marketing. Every answer has to be really associated with your personal story. The more personal your answer is, the higher are your chances of converting that particular interview. And hence there is nothing like, sir, what is the sample answer? There's nothing like sample answer, because answer differs from person to person, and it has to be motivated from one's personal story. And then the second most important focus area should be, after you have covered all the personal answers motivated by your personal story, second thing should be the graduation ka revision, right? For example, if I am from a particular stream, electrical engineering, right, then I should at least talk about the top 3 or 4 subjects. That is something that I should be very well in depth associated with. I can't say that I am from electrical engineering, but I don't have a clue on what is a diode, or what is uh, a Zener diode, or what is 5G. So all of those questions that are very well associated with my branch is something that I must very well be knowing, and especially practical applications of it. People who have higher work ex, 3-4 years of work ex, you should be knowing at least the practical application of every subject that you're associated with. Point is clear, right? How do you cover electrical subject ke jo bhi top 3-4 subject, to be top 3-4 subject that I have studied under electrical engineering? I will at least try to go in depth of that. It has to be a T-based learning, which says ki jo top 3-4 subjects, I have to go in depth of it, and rest of the subjects I should at least talk about it. For example, signal processing was a subject in electrical engineering. कोई मुझसे पूछ ले कि नेटवर्क थ्योरी क्या होता है, आई शुड एटलीस्ट नो कि व्हाट इज दैट बेसिक हाइजीन थिंग अबाउट द network theory. How do I make network theory? What is that complexity? Very high level thing that we have studied, right? But having said that, you don't have to go back gate की तेरे preparation नहीं करना रहता, graduation का ही. Greater than 2 years of work is the minimum expectations from you is कि basic things. For example, people who are electrical engineers, you should be knowing what is a Wheatstone bridge, or how do you draw the circuit diagram for a Wheatstone bridge, right? So these kind of questions which are important and very common is something that you must be knowing. उतना in depth जाके नहीं होता, but the main focus here is on the application. For example, motor, ये वाली मोटर कौन सी चलती है, फैन में कौन सी मोटर होती है, what are 5 things जो तुमने सुबह से अभी तक देखी जिसके अंदर say static motor थी, right? Or maybe any other motor for that matter. Okay, so these are the things in which you should prepare. First of all, I'm only talking about the key focus areas. Then I would go to कि prepare कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, ठीक है? Then one thing is, sir, maths कैसे revise करना है, because there are a lot of interviews जहाँ पे math driven भी होता है, especially IIM Calcutta, XLRI. These interviews are slightly bent towards mathematics as well. At least मेरा तो था, जो IIM Calcutta का interview था, it was 80% of it was towards maths, and the reason was also because I wanted it to be routed via maths. Because maths was my strongest suit, so I wanted it to route via maths. Okay? But here the expectation from you is not कि जाके पूरा graduation का maths, engineering maths वो सब करना चाहिए, but the minimum expectation is CAT का QA should be like, you guys should be well comfortable with it. Topics like functions, graphs, probability, PNC, right? These are the topics जिसका practical application होता है. So at least these 4 topics should be there with you, and कोई revision करने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you have done your CAT preparation, well, you would be able to answer these questions. And the next important thing is class 11th and 12th का maths. This is very important, especially for the people who are targeting colleges like IIM EBC. वहाँ पे 11th 12th की maths के ऊपर questions हो सकते हैं. Questions like, what is a differential equation? What is the difference between order and degree of a differential equation? I might as well throw a particular differential equation to you: d2y by dx square plus dy by dx whole square plus 3 is equals to 0. What is the degree here? Most of the students नहीं बता पाते अगर तैयारी नहीं करी तो, right? Then what is a skew-symmetric metric? How do you calculate the rank of a matrix? What is the determinant? Can you calculate determinant of a non-square matrix, right? What is transpose of a particular matrix? So all of this, I'm sure, at least this is for the engineers. Non-engineers can avoid it. तुमसे नहीं पूछेंगे. But engineers, you all have at least come across these terms in your class 11th and 12th, right? So these are the things that you should be going back and revising from class 11th, 12th. Okay? So we have covered personal HR, about yourself. Then graduation का revision मैंने कर लिया, class 11th, 12th का maths मैंने कर लिया. Then comes the things that are happening nearby me, things that you should be knowing as a manager, because you would have to make big decisions for the company, right? So current affairs, and when I'm talking about current affairs, I don't want you to know कि यार 2 साल पहले इंडिया में क्या हुआ था, but at least I want you guys to know कि यार last 6 months से country में क्या चल रहा है, whatever hot news are there in the market, right? So at least if not 6 months, last 3 months से भी जो major topics चल रहे हैं, you should be knowing about it in and out. Budget is about to happen. If that happens, that will be the most often talked item. And what students do is they simply Google कि top 10 things about budget, याद कर लेंगे, रट्टा मार लेंगे, and they'll throw it in the interview. Not an acceptable answer, because majority of the students would be doing it. So you again have to understand कि budget में, okay, these are the 5 things. These are the 3 things that are not good. Why do I think these are not good? Why do I think this is good? How do I compare this year budget from last year budget? Right? How do I sort of prepare a budget? If I have to prepare a budget of my own, what would that look like? So unless I have an in-depth understanding कि अच्छा Indian scenario में these are the things that are happening, I won't be able to answer these questions, right? So idea is, even if you are trying to read about any particular current affairs topic, you can't read just a single article and say कि मेरा topic हो गया, नहीं. There are videos of Drishti IAS as a YouTube channel, something that you can refer to, or YouTube पे normally भी search करोगे, there are very good information 35 minutes that has explained कि why is this topic, historical context क्या है, and what is that opinion. So the idea is you should be well aware कि 3 positive points क्या है, what are the 3 negative things, and then basis that you should have your own opinion rather than Google करके Google का opinion नहीं बोलना है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, प्रशांत can also talk about it कि current affairs क्या करना है, कैसे करना है in the next slide, but at least for now I'll try to move on. ठीक है. After current affairs, next thing is static affairs. By static affairs, I don't mean तुमको ये याद करना है ब्राजील का मिनिस्टर कौन है, of course not. By static affairs, the affairs that are of importance to you as a manager. For example, economics should be knowing, no matter which background are you from. Micro, macro, economics ka basics is something that I would expect. What is marginal utility concept, right? What are those curves? What is Keynesian theory? Who discovered macroeconomics and different laws? What is equilibrium theorem? Basic things, right? So these are the, again, not in-depth things, but at least basic thing. What is inferior goods, right? So what is Griffin goods? Again, what is Griffin good? This was asked in last year interview question to an engineer in IIM Bangalore interview. So again, these are the basic things. These are not in-depth things. You might not have heard about it, but that is only because you haven't even read the basics of economics. But again, something that you should be venturing into. So economics, finance ka basics. When I'm talking finance ka basics, how do I read a balance sheet? How do I decide whether a company is doing good or bad? Right? Balance sheet कैसे read करते हैं? Cash flow statements कैसे read करते हैं? Financial statements. What are the major financial ratios? What is P by E ratio? Stock market का at least basic. What is BSE? What is NSE? How do I decide BSE में top companies कैसे होती है? Index कैसे move होता है? Right? What is the difference between Sensex and Nifty? Last 5 साल से क्या रहा है? What is the future projection going to be? These are the things that is there in the news every day. Right? So again, something that is expected out of you कि as an MBA you're reading newspaper and you're aware कि यार ये basic terminologies क्या होती है. What are the startups? What is a particular unicorn? How is that particular unicorn doing? एक startup का valuation कैसे करोगे? What is NPV? What is NRR? Right? So these are again common terminologies. So don't be very scared of it. कोई भी class 11-12 का management accounting का book लेके बैठ जाओगे, you would be well aware of these terms that I'm talking about. People from economics and finance background, they would probably know more than me. But हाँ, the idea is कि at least इतना basic तो पता होना चाहिए to engineers, arts people who are not from finance background. Okay. These 1 to 5 elements are the things that covers the knowledge and the learning wala part. 6th is the application wala part. Drawing a particular analogy from CAT. CAT में सिर्फ हमने पढ़ लिया, mocks नहीं दिया, it is useless, right? So even here, whatever we are learning, we have to keep on testing our knowledge कि whatever am I learning, is it really on the right track? मैंने कोई particular answer बनाया है YMB का, is that really right, or is there a scope of improvement? And that's where the most important thing is you have to keep on seeking feedback. If you are a batch student of Prepzone, we are there. We have mentors, personal mentors have been assigned to everyone. They'll help you refine your answers and answer whatever queries that you have. Even beyond wherever you join, have a particular mentor who can help you. Ki, this is my answer. You discuss your answers with him. basis your profile, because every answer has to be motivated from a profile. If some mentor is simply editing your answer and giving it to you, he's probably doing the same thing with 50 other students. So essentially all the 50 students of the batch is going to have the same answer and going to say the same thing in an interview. So from an interview perspective, all the 50 students are rejected, right? So every answer has to be personalized, and hence make sure that you discuss your profile with the mentor and then try to talk about your answer so that mentors can also correct you ki basis your profile, these are the improvements that you can do. Okay? And then start taking mock interviews. Don't wait ki mock interviews mujhe interview ke ek hafte pehle lene. It doesn't work at all. In fact, interview ke ek hafte pehle you should not be taking any mock interview, similar to CAT exam. Minimum 5 mock interviews with different interviewers. Ek interviewer ke sath you can't take more than 1 mock interview, because if it is a good interviewer, he would have already judged you on all of these 5 levers. These are the 5 levers that is usually used by an interviewer to judge you on. Because I've taken interviews in IIM Calcutta placement में मैं जाता था, वहाँ पे मैंने interviews लिए. These are the 5 areas that any interviewer would judge on. ठीक है? So एक mentor के साथ एक ही interview लेना है. Maximum 2 if you think last interview did not really well you didn't really perform well to the expectations, you can take 1 more, but not more than 1 or 2. Try to have interviews with different mentors. That will bring in a good flavor.
Shubham, can you reshare the PPT? It's not visible.
Oh, sorry, I think it got logged. Just a minute. Yeah. Is it visible now? Can anyone confirm if you can see the PPT?
It's visible now.
Okay.
It went off.
Thank
Can you try again?
Yeah, it's visible, right? Fair. Can you see that? The PPT is visible, right? Okay, thanks. So I was talking about the mock interviews. Try to have mock interviews with different mentors, as different mentors as possible, of course, who are relevant to your profile. If you're an engineer, you're taking an interview from someone who's a CFA and you have absolutely no interest in finance, won't really be a good fit. So have a look at the mentor's profile and then start taking mock interviews. Similarly, VATs, because there are B schools who would be taking VATs. VATs ka the best thing is, if you just read कि यार अच्छा ऐसे आंसर लिखना है, won't really help. Unless you attempt writing, बिना देखे कोई भी एक random topic तुम्हारे mentor ने दे दिया, start writing on it, then send it to your mentors कि this is what I've written. Can you evaluate me? Can you give me a rating on a score of 10? And then try to improvise on the feedback. That is the way to improvise on the VAT. There's nothing like ये perfect VAT. Of course, there are certain guidelines. A perfect VAT has to be divided into 4 paragraphs. You start with an introduction, 1 paragraph in favor of it, 1 paragraph against it, and then a particular conclusion. It has to be 1 pager. So there are certain guidelines, but then of course you need someone to evaluate you on a particular VAT. So just take care of these 5-6 things wherever, however you are preparing. Okay, fair. I think next I'll try to cover whatever questions that we have received from the students. Meanwhile, anything that Prashant or Shayan, you guys want to add, feel free to do so. Okay, so we have received around 37 questions from 77 students, and we have tried to divide majority of the questions in these 5 logical clusters. If there is any question which was very personalized, we haven't included it here, but at the end, or maybe in the chat, you can ask with the Prashant sir, or by the end of the session, you can unmute and speak up and try to get your answers. Okay. So first thing was prep related, how to start with GDPI preparation. Minimum, I would say, 2 से 3 घंटा is something that I would expect every student to focus to give to their GDPI preparation. And in 2-3 घंटे में क्या करना है? Those are the 5 levers that I've talked about in the last slide to prioritize it. First thing first, personal HR is something that I would give at least the next 3-4 days on to know about myself, जो भी मैंने अभी तक किया है, so that I can derive inspiration from that in writing my SOP, in writing my YMB answers, in writing tell me something about yourself answers, right? So how to start with GDPI preparation? I've already answered in the last slide. Those are the 5-6 things. Schedule for GDPI prep. People have started a month ago already. I'm assuming you all are here because you haven't started it right now. That's okay. Interviews would start from January and would continue till April. No one can say तुम्हारा interview January में आएगा या February में आएगा. We just know for a fact it starts from January end and it will last till April end or even May for that matter. 4 महीने इंटरव्यू चलते हैं. तुम्हारा कब आएगा, that all depends on your city and the luck factor. ठीक है, so schedule, same thing that we have discussed. How to prepare GK. Prashant, do you want to take that?
Yeah. Shubham, can you unmute Shayan?
Okay, sure.
So in GK, people think that they are going to be played rapid fire. So they are going to ask like who was the first finance minister of India, or when first 5-year plan was made and how it was made, right? So this is not going to something happen in your interviews. Mostly they are going to have a discussion around that what has happened or what is happening around you, right? So they can ask you that even today one of the interview happened and they asked that what is happening in Russia Ukraine war and what are the financial implication of that. So such type of current affairs are asked generally, and what people do, they take from one source, right? So they have InShots and many other apps in their phones. So if you are preparing for a CAT preparation or CAT PIs or any of the PIs, so make sure that you are not reading from one sources that are too concise. So these are made just to give you content for the gossips, not something for a healthy discussion. What people do, they make their opinion from on someone else's opinion. So they take from Economic Times some editorials and they start discussing something in the actual interview. We don't know that what is the exact agenda of that person or the bias of that person. So whenever you are making any opinion or you are taking any side, you should have a balanced view. And if you, even if you don't have a balanced view, at least you have pointers to prove your point, right? So take from different sources. So people hardly use the sources like Government of India website. So the best preparation website I find is Ministry of Commerce. So if I have to talk on like what are the major export imports, what is happening with the export import or any other information, what is happening on the development front of like child and woman, then I don't need to go any other website apart from Government of India's departmental website, right? Or the ministry's website. People don't use that. IBEF.org is very good website that people hardly use. If you want to get any insights about pharma industry or any other industry, you can use that. So take the sources which are credible and which can be accepted widely. Even IBF.org like came from directly from the government, right? So go on these websites and just have a look. Even World Bank keep on publishing different websites. People say that I am interested in finance and economics, but they don't never been visited the World Bank website. So if you want to be aware of what is happening on policy front, economic front, or maybe the finance front, just go ahead and read it. So this is something you should do about current affairs. Have at least 3 to 5 minutes of content if you want to have a discussion. Otherwise, it will be just a rapid fire, and if you don't know like any answer, you will be grilled more on that you are not aware of that, or maybe they will start asking something totally not related about your profile. So try to avoid that, and there are many other websites you can use there. Over to Shayan.
No, I think I'm fine on this question. I think more importantly, you need to be aware of the industry. One guy asked regarding the pharma industry. So he or she is a B farm. Understand about the pharma industry. How is the pharmaceutical industry is working? What are APIs in pharma industry? Right. So understand the business, understand the sector. You're going to get into a management school. They're expecting the business side of things from you. Do you have the analytical ability to slice and dice a particular sector to understand a bit of the numbers, not all maybe? Do you understand the sector size? Do you understand the market outlook? Do you understand the India's growth in that particular sector? What is the government of India doing to push that sector? Maybe there is some PLI in a textile production linked intensive incentive in the textile sector. Maybe there is something in the production department. So what is the government of India doing? what are the different challenges that India is facing in exporting that particular item to countries like maybe Singapore, countries like maybe US or UK or Europe for that matter. So understand the international affairs as well. More importantly, understand the Indian side as well, how the business is shaping up in the coming years. Maybe have a view of the in the next maybe 5-10 years. Have an outlook. What is your opinion about the outlook of the business? Right. I think this is how you shape your industry questions or industry related, uh, the entire sector of it.
Fair. Yeah.
Over to Shubham.
Thanks. Sure. Thank you, Shan. So I think that covers how to prepare for GK. Do I really need newspapers? Of course, you need newspapers. Which ones? Business Standard is something that we would recommend. Economic, the Mint, वगैरह में, it is more in the form of story, but you won't get good facts and the in-depth knowledge. Then how to prepare for academics for GDPI, we've already covered in the last slide. I'll also talk about this in the subsequent slide. Ki at Prepzone, how are we taking care of the graduation revision? Okay. Then how to deal with nervousness during GDPI, take as many mock interviews, minimum 5 mock interviews if you take. And by mock interviews, I'm assuming every mock interview will be of 40-45 minutes with an experienced mentor. Your nervousness will automatically go away. If you're prepared well and if you have taken good number of mock interviews, it would go away. While communication is one factor, it is not the only factor. We have seen students from Hindi medium converting IIM Ahmedabad who could not even speak a sentence properly, because as an interviewer, I would never test you on your English, because this is an MBA ka entrance process and not IELTS ka process, right? So I would never test you on your English. I would rather test you on your knowledge and your storytelling ability. How well can you relate two different entities and come up with a good story to defend yourself? And how to prepare for that, covered already. See, ideally VAT में, because there were certain questions or VAT के लिए क्या topics आने चाहिए. So VAT topics could be of two types. One is the static topic. Second could be dynamic topic, which is more related to the current affairs. For example, the first VAT topic that we have given to the students in Prepzone is 5G in India, right? So that will of course include something from the recent happenings in the last 2-3 years in the Indian ecosystem. However, there could be certain topics, for example, rose is blue, right? Or blue is the new red, or pink is blue, or maybe serendipity. These are like static or maybe abstract topic per se, right? Where you don't have a context. There is nothing that you could have read about it, but you have to go with a free mind. If you know all the frameworks that you can use to come up with a VAT, if you've practiced at least 4-5 VAT with a mix of abstract versus current affairs based VAT, you would be able to handle any random topic for that matter, right? So that's just a brief that I could share about VAT. We have seen VAT 60% could be related to the current affairs, but 40% of it has also come from the abstract topic, where it is as random as you could imagine. You would not have even have heard about that particular topic, but all you have to do is decipher or break that particular topic, decode that into logical chunk of information, and then try to interpret that topic and come up with a one-page story of your own. Okay, that's the prep related bucket. If there are any questions, you can just type in comment or just note it down, and maybe I'll take it by the end of the session. Second is related to the GDPI program. Will I get personal mentor? I'll just try to answer in one liner for the students who have put down these questions. Will I get personal mentor? Yes, not one but two mentors. I'll also help you with the sheet that we use to sort of assign you the mentors. Last date to enroll, mostly by 15 Jan is when we are expecting the batch to be closed, but we don't have a predefined date as of now. What all will I get? I'll cover it in the next few slides. Who will mentor me? We assign you the personal mentor from your best call. For example, if your best call is say SIBM, right, then you will have a mentor who is an alum of SIBM or related colleges like Narsi Munji or SCMHRD. You will have a mentor who is an alum of this college, and you will get a mentor who is currently studying in this college, so that you can get a perspective both from the fresh perspective and from an experienced point of view, right? So you'll get two mentors. In case one is not available, you can reach out to the secondary mentor as well. What is unique about Prepzone GDPI program? A lot. We'll cover about it in the next slide. But one unique thing is a result 97% conversion rate that is also highlighted at the bottom. Okay. What are your past results? It's at the bottom. How much GDPI affect the admission? 100%. The only thing that really matters right now is your GDPI preparation. Even if you have a 100 percentile, you have a call from IIM Calcutta, Indore, Koiko. If you mess up in your GDPI, you are simply rejected. There are numerous instances in the past where students at 100 percentile got rejected from IME, IMP, IMC. Okay, so 100% is the contribution right now in the GDPI preparation. Your CAT score cannot give you a convert of any B score. What guidance you guys particularly provide, I'll cover it in the next slide. Then third question is improve the chances of conversion. There were some students who were asking how to improve profile resume. I do not think, and I don't think you can do anything right now to improve your profile or your CV. Also, none of it really matters. Only thing that would matter is your scores, your percentile, your results that are already out, and second is your interview, which is basically the form that you fill. Resume, a few colleges might ask you for your resume, but there's nothing that you can do right now to improve it. So this question should not be there in your mind right now. You just have to make sure that whatever is your profile right now, how do you extract the best out of it? Prashant and Shine, maybe if you have some diverse or maybe different opinion here, please feel free to share. Hello, am I audible?
Sorry. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
question is it?
How to improve profile or resume? My take is I don't think you can do anything right now, but yeah.
That's an interesting question. So, whoever has asked this question, I think most of the people might have this question running in the mind. But the simple answer to this question is the damage is already done. So whatever your 10th scores are or 12th scores are, graduation scores, you're already done. Maybe you're in the final year of your graduation, you have made probably last semester to work with, but still that will not count because your interview is much before that. The results come out. So in short, the damage is done. So there is nothing that you can do about the academics part. Now consider and be confident about the fact that if the college has given you a call, it means that 100% they need you, which means that they want you to come and join the college. So there is no way that the college will give you random calls, even if they do not want you, right? So they have seen your profile, they've seen your CAT score or ZAT score or any other entrance exam scores, and now they want you. They want to interact with you. So after you get the call, it's only the GDPI, the personal interview that matters the most. And that, to be honest, if I have to speak on my experience, I think it is the 101% the game changer. Either you make it or you break it in GDPI. That's it.
Precisely. So that also answers the second question. Can I convert baby IIMs at 85 to 90 percentile range? If you have a call, you have 100% chances to convert it. If you don't have a call, of course, you don't have a chance to convert that. So if you have a call, your percentile does not matter at all. We have thousands of instances in the past, student converting a particular college, 95 point something percentile. That guy is in IIM Indore, our own student, 99.5 percentile, GEM, IIM Ahmedabad, and n number of other instances as well. People with 3 years of gap year, 3 years gap year, general engineer female, currently sitting in IIM Bangalore with 3 years of gap years, right? But she was able to justify herself. She had a call. She just made the best out of it. People with 5 years of work ex, GEM, converting IIM Bangalore at 99.45 something, right? People think I have a very high work ex, I have a gap year, my 10th is low, 12th is low. Our own mentor, Vishwas, 6 point something CGPA, he was my senior from IIM Calcutta, right? So there are n number of instances. All either you can waste your time or you realize that there are n number of things to prepare on, and you just focus on the things that are controllables right now. Okay. Next thing was specific questions. Why MBA? See, of course, I can't help you with an answer because this is like very precise. It all depends on your profile. But just to give you a sample roadmap on how can you probably draft or chart your answer of why MBA. One mistake that students do here is they say ki why MBA because they sort of relate MBA to the destination that I have technical knowledge. I have done all of these things. I'm a very good person. Now the only thing that I need right now to be a successful person is management degree. Technical है management ले लूंगा. Technical plus management I'll be the CEO of a company. A very conventional answer. You'll Google top 3 links इसी के बारे में आते हैं. But again, not at all a very justified answer. Something that interviewers would have heard for 1,000 times from students who just sit in an interview without preparation, right? A good framework rather could be कि this is what I am currently and this is what I want to be 5 years down the line, and MBA could be that possible route which brings me from where I am to where I really want to be. So MBA is not really my destination. I don't want to call myself as Shubham the MBA. I would rather want to be Shubham the something, and MBA could be that lifting factor for me, which has helped me reach to this particular level. For example, again, some specific example could be my graduation was in this stream. I worked in IT. I was a developer. As a developer, I have only coded, and while working for 2-3 years in companies, I also interacted with a lot of product managers. So while working 2-3 years, I have a good expertise. I know how to solve problems, but why are we solving problems? What problems to solve on? That is something I don't know because I don't apply my mind. I as a developer, I work with PMs. They come to me with a requirement that okay, hey man, this is what you need to do. There's a PRT, and then I blindly simply code them, right? So I as a person am very inquisitive. I now want to be in that particular position where I can also make decision. I can also understand that okay, whatever am I doing, why am I doing it, is that the only way, could there be any other way, and what all options do I have? So that position is a position where I also deal with the business, I also deal with the end customer. I take their feedback, translate that into a business requirement, and then try to solve the problem. So to be able to reach there, I need MBA as a journey because of course I have to have a 360-degree holistic approach. I should know all the domains so that I know what are we doing and why are we doing. Just a simple framework, not a very polished answer, but just a framework that you can use to make your own versions of IMB. How to justify career gap. There are people who also fake here. Nahi kiya to bhi they'll try to do something. See, if you have a valid experience that okay, this is why I took a career gap, be it as random as I took a career gap for CAT preparation, I think that is okay. Matlab, I would always accept a particular honest answer as compared to any fake story. कि कुछ हो गया, मैंने यहाँ काम कर लिया, fake pay slips जुगाड़ लिया. मतलब all of that is something that no interview would want, and they are so experienced that they will anyways, if they ask you 2, 3, 4 cross questions, they will be able to know कि यार ये बंदा fake कर रहा है. Once they've caught you red-handed in an interview, you are totally out of the game. मतलब जो पूरा गेम चल रहा है, whatever you have done till now, you are totally out of it. So don't fake it. Be as honest as you are. You already know the reason. Try to have a storyline around it. That storyline is something that you can work on right now. Okay, does GD act as an elimination round? There are certain B schools where GDs are there, but having said that, I don't think it is a particular elimination round, at least in the top IIMs, because they take GDs and then they take the feedback from the GD, and then they also take the interview on the same day to all the students who have taken the GD. And in GD, they also observe you and they try to grill you in an interview कि GD में तुमने ये क्यों बोला था. So at least in the IIMs, of course, SP, JIMR, mein, those group interviews, all of that we have, those are the elimination round. The first, only the students who cleared GI1 will be eligible for the GI2. So again, it is a very B school specific information. If there's a particular B school you have in mind, you can probably ask it in the chat. How can I turn interview in my favor? First thing, you need to know your moat, you need to know your strength. If you have done that first exercise, know about yourself very well. For example, I knew for a fact that I want my majority of the interview to revolve around maths, and for that matter, my introduction started with maths, it ended with maths. I had a logical sequence of events which started with maths कि 10th से मुझे maths में interest था. 2, मैंने graduation पे बहुत सारे maths related questions लिए थे. मैंने job में maths related algorithms बनाए हैं and all. So that was my answer of tell me something about yourself. Why MBA में it was an inspirited story from maths. So my majority of the student had this particular keyword of maths, and luckily, of course, there are multiple professors who sit in an interview, right, to grill you. So one of the interviewer was a math PhD guy from DU. He was an IIM Calcutta alum. I didn't know it beforehand, but after coming back, I realized that this guy is a maths PhD, and hence he grilled me. Like my entire interview went on maths. We discussed a lot about functional analysis of maths, analytical maths, then 11th, 12th, derivation, Taylor series, Fibonacci series, Jacobian matrix, derivations, how do you prove different theorems, right? We have discussed all of it, but then I was of course prepared for it because I knew कि maths is my strength and this is my strength, and hence I knew कि ये सारी चीजें तैयारी करनी है. So I was prepared, but then that probably worked in my favor, right? So just something that if you want the interview to be routed in particular direction, of course, test the strategy in the mock interviews that you take, but try to have those keywords in like probably all the answers that you're narrating or all the stories that you're using to justify your personal answers. Then B school specific, IIT Delhi, DMS, Rohtak, profile related questions, guys. I haven't included the questions, but you can probably ask Prashant sir on chat, or maybe by the end of it, you can ask Prashant sir these questions. He can take it. Common mistakes by students. One, the most common mistake is people wait till the last moment. अभी भी scores बाहर आ गए, but still people won't start their preparation. They will wait कि यार percentile आएगी, result आएगा, फिर मैं तैयारी शुरू करूंगा. Even there are students who will be like, percentile आ गई, I'm not convinced, I'll wait, call आएगा, फिर मैं तैयारी शुरू करूंगा. And majority of the students who wait till the calls are out, they have to repeat another year because, to be very honest, you don't get enough time between getting the calls out to your final interview date. Hardly कुछ days मिलते हैं, not even a month, right? And that's of course not enough, and बाद में panic होगा. You'll be able to do something, but you'll not be able to do as much as you could have done had you started your preparation early, right? So that would be one piece of advice in terms of the common mistakes that we have seen students doing in the past. Cool. I've at least tried to cover 80-85% of the questions that you have asked me in the Google form. If there's something that I missed or if there's something very specific, you can ask me at the in the last of this presentation. With this, I'll move forward. One question that Prepzone के courses में क्या है, or how do I start my preparation? How can we help you? I'll very quickly cover that thing. By the way, this is just something that I have received just a couple of minutes ago from a student. So this platform that you see on the tablet, this is the platform that we use for the current affairs discussions every day, right? And this guy is currently working. He has his own startup. He's sitting in his company. He works from 9 to 10 in the night, but this is how he manages his GDPI preparation along with his work. He has his desk. वहाँ पे उसने paper में वो notes बनाता है. He takes part in all the activities, and he also works. So this is that level of dedication that we inspire you to do, and of course it also has to come from you कि यार कुछ बोला है तो वो करना ही है. So once you start taking things very seriously, I think you will reach to that particular position that you won't come back to us, sir, ऑफिस लेट चला, मीटिंग हो गई, बाहर चले गए थे, घर में कुछ काम आ गया इसलिए तैयारी नहीं कर पाया. मतलब there are of course 100 excuses you can give, but a good student would always find reasons to be able to do things on time, right? Just something that we have received because we have started assigning mentors. I think day before yesterday only, me and Prashant, we sat for around 7-8 hours in the night. We have assigned mentors, 2 mentors individually to every student basis their profile, because we had to look at the profile of the student. Graduation engineer है, non-engineer है, engineer है तो mechanical है, electrical है. Then work ex कितना है, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, startup, gap year. These are the parameters that we look at from a student profile, and then we map it to the mentors. कि mentor कौन से college से, what all are the colleges that this mentor converted, how many years of experience does the mentor have, what is the graduation stream, and what is the work ex in the industry. Then we try to map these 2 things, right? And hence it takes time, and hence the mentors जो finally निकल के आता, that is very personalized. So this is just a feedback for you to be motivated about it, right? Just some stats from our last year. So this 97% conversion rate that we have been boosting, and we are very proud to boast about it, is something that is of course unimaginable to many of the institutes. This 97% says that last year we had 190 students, out of which 183 students had converted at least one of their good calls. And they're currently sitting in their MBA. 183 by 190 is 97%. Even if I do this entire calculation only on the top calls, say I am ABC, 59 students had a call from ABC, 57 converted ABC, which says that this is not very skewed towards low-end colleges, but also the distribution is like uniform across all the tier colleges. Okay? Then I think just a very brief about what all things are there in the batch. सारे live sessions, recorded sessions, guesstimates, macroeconomics, finance, history, politics, statistics, budget पे live session होगा, personal HR पे session is scheduled this weekend, important government scheme is scheduled next week, hot burning affairs, emerging technologies, something that you should be knowing to write in your VAC, to speak about in your interview. We'll have sessions on all of it. Current affairs, we have already started. I'll just show you a glimpse of how we do current affairs after this slide. But the idea is that you'll have a summary of 400 plus current affairs. 50 current affairs is something that I would give to you right away after the session. Okay. Graduation specific question banks. We have channels where students discuss electrical ke discussions hote hain daily. There are mentors from electrical fresher who also conduct rapid fires ki theek hai iska answer kya hoga, so that you are well prepared about all the kinds of questions that you could expect in an interview. Right? Also, there are different question banks that we would be giving. Maths wala to sabko milega. Maths mein we have extracted question 11, 12 in graduation, so that could be potentially asked to you in an interview. Right? So all of that would be given to you, not just the question bank. For example, maths के हम answers भी discuss करेंगे. Right? The mentorship तो मैंने बताया कि you'll have a personal mentor who will help you not write your answers, but refine your answers, edit your answers, give feedback to your answers, SOPs, and a number of other things that we have. So in total, B school specific activities will also be there, because this was also a question, sir, Nasim Munji specific preparation hoga nahi hoga. Yes, G, CD, which are specific to NM, SIBM will be there. AWT specific to IIM Ahmedabad will be there. GI specific to SPJIMR will be there, right? And you will get all of this as a part of the package. 7 interviews, 4 VATs, 2 GDs, and a bunch of other things. Okay. Mentors, we have a total of 70 plus mentors. This is just a glimpse of it, but in total, we have tried to cover all the level of B schools, because we want mentors to be very specific to the calls that a student is preparing for. Okay. Fair. These are the variants that we have. 4 variants. One is GDPI Convert Guarantee, which is of 25K, advanced 17.5K, intermediate 13K, and basic or self prep is 6K. These are the things that are given in individual package. The last point, which is the placement booster thing, that is only included in the advanced or convert guarantee. What it is once you sort of convert your dream B school, or if you go into your MBA में अंदर जाके भी बहुत फोमो होता है कि फर्स्ट ईयर आ गया within a few months, CV तैयार नहीं है, तैयारी कैसे करूं, प्लेसमेंट कंसल्टिंग में करना है, फाइनेंस में करना है, I'm not prepared. So all of that we try to help you one before you enter into a B school. So you will get access to sessions from different streams: consulting, finance, product management.
Shubham, I guess you're on mute. It's still muted.
Oh, right. I think I've been using this earpod since morning and the battery got discharged, so it muted me. Like, am I on mute since quite some time, or is it only in the last couple of
For the
minutes?
last 10, 12 seconds. Maybe
Okay.
you can choose to repeat. Yeah.
Sure. I think thank you for informing that. So I think last slide though was self-explanatory. I'm sure you would have had a look at it. I'll again present it. If there are any questions, you can again ask me. So I was just talking about the placement booster thing. It is something that you would need before you enter into a B school. जो भी तैयारी करनी है, different streams, your CVs will help you with all of it even before you enter into a B school. That's included as a part of your package. Okay, GDPI Convert Guarantee. This is a new initiative by us. What it says is, if you don't convert any of your calls, even if you have one call, if you don't convert it, your fees will be refunded, subjected to certain TNCs that are mentioned here.
right? Your entire fees, excluding GSTs and the transaction fees, will be refunded back. Given you sort of appear for the call, you do all the assignments, you take all the interviews, right? Details, again, you can find it on the website. These are the websites. You can go there and register it. Just a feedback from last students. And now I'll just take next 2, 3, 4 minutes before I share the content. Like, how do we do these discussions as a platform, right? So I'll just show it to you guys. So if you can see the screen, I think this is something that I would be sharing very soon. Sorry, this is something else. Yeah, so this is how discussions are happening, right? Every day we are discussing one topic. We have started from December 18th. You can see the journey is there till February 20 for now. We'll keep on adding more lists to it. And there is a mentor who is associated every day. These are the summaries of everyday topics that have been done. Today is Jan 10th. आज का discussion was on this particular topic. ठीक है? Similarly, how mentors are assigned, this question is there. So of course you need to be very strong if you're investing in Prepzone. Confidence se aana, right? So these are all the students. And how do we assign mentors? For every student, what package has he taken? How many interviews does he have in the package? These are the 2 mentors, right? For every student. For example, Sanket Manna, he has Abhinav as well as me as a mentor. So these are the 2 mentors. This list is there for all the students who have enrolled with us. So this is how you get access to all the mentors. Mentors' ke phone numbers get shared with you. This is a list of all the mentors that we have so far, right? And I think that's about it. Apart from this, if there are any questions, you can ask me. I think, yeah, one more thing is, how do we do a current affairs discussion, right? This was also something that students have asked. So this is the platform that we use for all the discussions. यहाँ पे सारे बैच डिस्कशंस होते हैं. These are the announcement channel where we say कि आज ये session है, आज वो session है. If you see here, we had a session. Induction session is something that we keep on taking for all the new joiners. How do we optimize current affairs discussion? We had SIBM discussions. So all of that you will get here. Wet topics get released here. Current affairs, you can see we have been doing current affairs discussion, and this is how it happens. Every day you can see a thread. January 10 to रात तक एक thread बन जाएगा January 11 का, and this is where we will have discussion. Graduation का चीज जो मैं बता रहा था, that is here. So all the graduation related streams, right? Civil, chemical, metallurgical, supply chain management, electrical, electronics, all of those discussions happen here. Cool. I think I've tried to cover pretty much what was needed. Happy to take any questions right now. So I'll stop sharing maybe. And yeah. Fair. I'll also unmute everyone so you can ask me whatever you guys want, right? I'm changing the settings. I think it is better if you speak up, turn on their microphones. Yeah, please try now. I think you should be able to unmute yourself and speak. Yeah. Can you guys try unmuting yourself? Are you able to do it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Great. So I'll suggest I'll have to go through all those comments. If you can just unmute and speak up, that would be great.
Sir, I just had one question.
Yeah.
It's related to my work experience actually.
Okay, Atharv.
Actually, I was placed in a company. It was full-time work experience before the completion of my graduation. Like normally
Okay.
the graduation gets completed in the month of May or June, let's say. I was
Right.
placed, my entire batch of 24 students in that same company, they were placed in the month of February only. So I mentioned the work experience in all the application forms and the colleges form from February. Now, since the protocol in most of the colleges is that only the graduation, only the work experience post the completion of the graduation is counted. So, am I, is it correct, or should I, revert to them that sorry, it was a mistake? But it's 100% true. There's nothing fake. I have all the pay slips, everything. Like as per my work experience certificate, the information entered by me is correct. But I hope that I'm not, misusing anything or of that sort.
Okay, so at least my take on this is, see, whatever that you have done so far, you have already done it, right? in your CAT form, if you've already filled your work experience from February, there's nothing to worry about right now, because of course you can't change it, right? And you can be sort of consistent on that. But ideally, if I had to fill it, I would have always filled it after graduation. But because you've already done it, see, for any interview that you would go, right, the first few minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, they sort of verify your form. For example, if you're saying 28 months of work ex, they'll ask for your experience letter, they'll ask for the pay slips, and they'll try to verify whatever information that you've filled it in the form. Now, in your particular case, it is not 100% right, it is not 100% wrong. You can just present your particular case to them. When they are sort of verifying the details, they'll write it, they'll take a note, and that's it. I don't think this qualifies that you have misused the thing or you're disqualified. It's just that you'll have to justify, and you'll have to have the proper documentation. Just talk out to those teams during verification process before the interview. But I don't think it would really count or matter in an interview. That's my take. Shayan and Prashant, if you have a different point of view, maybe you can chip in.
Sir, but if I change the work experience date, when the college forms get out, okay, or let's say when the calls are released for, let's say, for XLRI or any other call. So when they again, ask you to enter your details, when they ask you to update your work experience. So in that form, if I change the work experience date and if I mention it as the true work experience, that is post my graduation, will this not create any sort of discrepancy as to what I had filled during the application form and what I'm filling for the particular college or something?
Shubham, I'm taking this.
Sure, Prashant, go ahead.
So who was asking? No.
Atharv.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so you are asking for only IIMs, or you are asking for any other B school?
Any B school, XLRI, IMT, IMI, XIMB, or like in
Okay.
everything I've mentioned that February date. So whichever college, if it asks me to, update your
Okay.
form.
So see, whatever you have filled, no B school is going to believe in that, right? So they will ask you to give them the proof that whatever you have put, right? So in case you want to change anything right now, whenever they ask you to come for a document verification, just tell them upfront that this is something I have mentioned in CAD, but due to some circumstance, I don't have that proof that time. That's why I put that, right? So now you can say that this is the change I have, and you can tell in the starting itself, so that they don't think that you are faking something, right? So
Okay.
they are not going to create it, it is not going to create any problem in case you have changed your work ex. It's up to you that how you are going to convince the authorities. So once they are starting with the document verification, tell them in the starting itself, sir, this is something I had put in my CAT form during my CAT form, but this is the exact scenario. You can see the proof also, right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hi Shubham, this is Vikas.
Yeah, Vikas.
Yeah, as of today, that response has been out, okay, and we are expecting that by this January end, we'll be expecting some shortlist also. So, shall I wait for the shortlist or start the prep as of now? I have uploaded my response sheet on Cracky and got some score, which is hopeful that I will get a call.
Yeah. Because I think you've also texted me. I didn't really get a chance to it, but your score was 35 point something, right?
No, right now it's 39.75.
39.75. You'll surely be getting calls, in my opinion. Shayan or maybe Prashant, you can say, but I think he'll surely be getting calls. So makes sense for
Yeah,
you.
he is going to get both calls, BM and HRM both.
Uh,
And he
So
has very good chance to convert BM. Very good chance.
Yeah, I think 30, anything in the range or to the north of 34, 34 and a half, I think you are safe to get a chance to appear for the interview for BM and HR. And I'm sure you would be prepping up to convert that call as well. So
Yeah.
don't wait for it. Since you've already, the idea behind putting out the scorecard or putting out the response sheet is so that you get a heads up to prepare as well. So this is not just to get your consa right way, consa wrong way. It is also meaning that you get a heads up as to what are the scores that you're expecting, and based on that, based on the previous cutoff score, you understand whether you're going to get a call or not. So
Yeah,
try to
definitely.
use this try to leverage this time till the calls are out, and just make yourself prepped up for the interview.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm hopeful this is only for my MBA journey as of now.
Okay, that shows some confidence. Okay. But anyway, I mean, whether it's one call or two call or 10 calls, it doesn't matter. You need to convert that call. That's it. So just be focused on the call that you have, and start preparing as early as possible, because you need that heads up to lead the race.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Subham. Thank you, Nitin, everyone.
And by the way, congrats because after coming up so strongly in that after a fucked up cat, to be very brutal about it. Yeah.
Thank you,
Because you
Subham. Yes, sir.
start with your prep for PIs, and Sion is the best mentor I can say for Excel, not for only for Excel, for any other B school. So
Yes, sir.
his bandwidth will be full after some time. So don't wait for that.
Okay, sure, Prasan. Thank you so much for your guidance.
Fair. I think, yeah, next is Vaishnavi.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, so I got 88.88 percentile, and I'm not sure ki if I get any calls from baby IIMs, or I don't know. So I was thinking that if I get a call, then I will prepare, or else it is my first attempt. So I have given some interviews in local colleges. There, I was selected, but I'm just waiting for better opportunities like some IITs like IIT Kanpur or something. So, should I wait for the call on mail, then start preparing, or else? Because I don't want to take a drop, I just want to complete this MBA as soon as
Sure.
possible.
So see, if you already know that you don't want to take a drop, then of course, whatever calls you are getting, you have to convert any of those calls and go for an MBA, right? If that is the underlying condition, then why to wait for calls to be out? Because the more you wait, the lesser is your likelihood to convert a particular call. So if I were you, I would have started right from now, because I've already given all the exams. So now all you have to focus on is your preparation.
I have applied in Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute and in four and other IIMs and some IITs. So I don't know if I would get in any IIM, or I think IIT Kanpur may call, but I'm not sure. So uh, and also I wanted to ask that the questions in private institutes and in government are same, or else there are some different type of questions asked in private institutes and government.
Vaishnavi, I'll
And
I'll connect with you separately, one-to-one basis. So you need
Yeah.
to like 15 to 20 minutes from my side. We will connect tomorrow.
okay, sir.
Vaishnavi, I
Thank
don't
you.
have Prashant's number. Else you can ping me. I'll share Prashant's number and you can connect on WhatsApp with Prashant, have a conversation on call and get it resolved. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, I've tried to answer all the questions that were thrown in the chat. If there's anything that is unanswered, please start asking. Next, Ayushi Lohia, I can see your hand raised.
Hi, Shobham. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ayushi, go on.
Actually, my issue is that in CAT, I couldn't, while I overall got a good percentile, I couldn't clear the sectional for DILR. So I'm not
Mhm.
expecting any IIM calls because of that. And for that, I think I'm very much on the edge, like somewhere around, I'm not sure about if the crack you scorecard is correct or not correct, because there's a lot of debate, but my marks are somewhere around 29ish. I'm not very sure if that will get me an XLRI call, and I don't want to join any tier 2 colleges or all of that. So XLRI will be my best call if there is a call. I'm not sure at this point.
Okay.
So
What
I
about
mean, sorry.
IITs don't have a sectional cutoff. IITs.
I am
Shubham,
also
let
not.
me take this.
Yeah.
Ayushi, you take my number, you connect with me one-to-one. Your case need to be discussed.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll connect with
Prashant,
you.
you can type in your number in the chat for students to have it. So anything related to B school, call aayega, nahi aayega, this is the score. You can connect with Prashant. He's the best person for that. Okay.
Sure, thank you.
Sure, welcome.
Also,
Pooja?
I just wanted to check one more thing. The last two programs, the one was a 17,000 and 25,000. I just wanted to know the difference in the offerings
Sure.
because they look the same.
Yeah, so offerings is exactly same. The difference is in price is because of the money back thing. So
Okay.
GDPI convert guarantee says that if you don't convert any of your call, even if you have one call, if you don't convert that, your money will be refunded. Advance doesn't have that. The
Okay,
rest features.
got it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Pooja?
Hi, sir. My question is, I work as a data scientist at a fintech firm. So, would they ask me more questions about the fintech industry, or would they ask me questions about data science, or like what to
Both.
expect?
I would say
You are going to give them lot of content, and professors will be more interested in knowing that what exactly fintech is doing. So you will become the experiment ground maybe in a good interview. So
I
you need
think
to.
who asked this question? Sorry, Prashant, to cut you.
Yeah, Urja.
Yeah, Urja.
I think she has the best best chance to drive the interview because she has a good content in her experience. So data science in fintech. So these are two different industries and a lot of content to be discussed on. So if you can give them the hooks in your by hooks is I mean the spikes in your interview talk, I think you're gonna kill it with the way you can drive the interview. It will all depend on that. So typically I say that you need to understand how to tell a story because even Shubham mentioned telling stories is important in an MBA interview, in a management B school interview. How do you tell those stories? How do you stitch the different data points that you have in your life, both professionally and personally as well? Do we have a stories framework? The question should be like this: do we have a stories framework? Shubham talked about telling a story. The question that you guys should be asking: do we have a stories framework? What are the frameworks that we should follow? Are there any key bullet points that we should keep in mind while framing the different life events that we have? So these are the couple of things that you will get to understand when you join the course, because these are detailed discussions that need to be need to happen on a one-to-one basis, because stories will differ from person to person, but the framework will most likely remain the same. So you need to have a headline, you need to have the context and the challenges in your story, you need to have a decent understanding of the entire career path that you have followed, be the industry, be the profession. Whenever you're whenever you're answering questions to the question why MBA, draw a parallel between your past experiences, whatever you have gained, whatever you accomplished, what are the strengths that you have figured out, what is your future aspirations, both short term and long term, and how MBA will help you to get there. So that is the understanding of your profile, your academics, your work experience, and also where you want to go 5 years or 10 years down the line. All these will make your story compelling. And I personally I feel that you have a very good content to speak about, so that's one point.
Thank you, sir. And I was also thinking, I am from Jamshedpur. And one of the books that Prashant sir recommended on the book, I bought the book and I completed the book too. So I really wanted to drive my interview in the direction of and speak some more about like the Tata company, the Tata culture, and what I've learned and all that, and make a ground on the basis of that as well. So like these are the 3 points that I really want to prepare well and put forth in the interview, like coming from Jamshedpur, data science, and then working in a fintech.
So you will be the more of a conversation is going to happen in your interviews. What exactly that you do, and once you have given them good content, maybe the next day they are going to take class and discuss about WorkX, because fintech and data science. So if any stats professor or any even any professors will be sitting there, they will be interested in your profile for sure. So you are going to have a good conversation with them, good discussion around that what exactly is happening in fintech and what exactly you are doing at your workplace. So such things going to happen. The only thing you need good like calls, and once you got the call, then it's up to you that how you're going to portray yourself. So I always say that you are the writer, actor, director of your own story. So how you're going to connect all the dots. So Sayan was rightly mentioned that how you're going to connect the dots the same way they are going to watch your film. So direct your film better way so that you convert everything, whatever you have in your hand.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Next, Roni. Hello, Ronnie, you have a question? I can see your hand raised. Cool. Next, Nikhil.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have got around 98, 96.64 in my CAT results percentile, and my work is near 2 years in TCS in IT sector in BFSI sector. And sir, I'm expecting some IIM cap calls because I am GEM, and some IITs like IIT Kharagpur or IIT Madras. So, sir, my question is that right now, I is this a right time to start my preparation for PI, because I have to continue to study for TISNET and SRC GBOs also. So I have to balance it out, the PI preparation and the further competitive exams which are going to happen. So what will be the schedule and how to ideally balance these things out?
Sure, Prashant. Okay, maybe I'll start in Prashant. If you have anything to add on, you can just chip in. See, as I said, 2 to 3 hours daily for your GDPI preparation is something you'll have to give, because you can't wait for tests and all the other exams to get over, because by then you would definitely have a call and you'll have your interview date within a week or two. So of course the answer is you can't wait for all the other exams. But having said that, you have to balance your way. Now, how do you do it? That all depends on your personal schedule. Maybe once you register, we also do the induction where you can discuss your schedule with us, and we'll help you refine your schedule to have a balance of both other, like, test preparation as well as the GDPR preparation that you have to do. But the one liner is you have to start it now. Like, if not now, it will be absolutely late.
Sir, 2-3 hours a day will be enough for PI preparation if I do it regularly.
To begin with, see what is enough. There are students who are doing it for 12 hours as well. So there's no hard limit, but this is the minimum that is expected out of you. Like minimum 2-3 hours is something that you have to give. Maximum, sky's the limit.
Sir, when to expect cap round interviews? Around which month?
So Nikhil, you can expect as early as 15th of Feb and maybe as late as 15th of April. So
Okay.
somewhere between this you are going to appear for an interview. And don't assume that if you are going to be interviewed on the first day, you have some disadvantage and you have advantage on the last day. Same difficulty is going to increase, and professors are now also on the social media. They know very well that how we are connected and questions are being shared. So they keep on increasing the difficulty level and they bring the new set of questions also. So in case you are getting interviewed on the first day, then you don't have any disadvantage. Plus, if you don't, you are getting the last day, they are getting advantage. No, it's same throughout the process for like a specific good B schools. In not, I'm not talking about tier 2, tier 3 B school. I'm just talking about the good top 30, top 40 B school. These professors are very smart and they bring new questions and new question banks also. So be ready with that. And the dedication part, so worst thing can happen that you can resign from your job and you start giving any importance to your work, right? So people who are getting very hectic schedules, the best option for you guys is like a start put your papers now if you can't dedicate more time. So it worked for few people. I'm not saying like you should do this, but if you're not able to manage your PI preparation from now, just put your papers and from that day stop working. Yeah, not stop working completely, but yeah, you can dedicate more time at work also.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question. Should we try to add some certification courses right now?
No,
Or
right now, no new things you should take care. Only focus it should be on taking mock PIs, nothing extra, because you don't have that much time right now.
okay, sir.
Certifications will put extra burden, and I don't think that is going to give any value to right now. Later, you can add any certification to your profile.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Sheikh Mohammed.
Hi sir, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, Sheikh, I can.
Sir, actually I'm from mechanical engineering background, so I have to definitely recall all those mathematic concepts. But after revising all those concepts, whether I will be knowing about the Taylor series or as you said, the order and degree of differential equations. So whether I will be knowing all those things or not, it will be a very big question. So if somebody from your side if recalls all the concepts related to mathematics in a live session, maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour session, that would be a great
Sheikh will be doing
learning
it.
for.
We will be doing it. See, because it's maths and there are so many things, it won't be a live session per se where I'll teach you, because if I start teaching, it will take me 10 hours, given maths as a subject, right? However, we have 75 to 80 questions wala question bank that we have curated over years, and majority of questions are pretty much asked from there only. So we'll have a general rapid fire. I know you are a part of the batch, right, Sheikh? So we'll do a rapid fire event of maths where we'll ask questions, you will answer it, and then we'll answer that, okay, and then we'll try to explain you that, for example, differential equation, this is the differential equation, this is where you can start reading about it. So we'll try to learn it via application and not via a general theoretical method.
And
Okay.
sir, is there any such sessions completed in the past in this batch?
Yes, Sheikh. You have to log into myprepzone.com under courses, GDPI Advanced. You can see all the sessions that are already completed that you might have missed. So whatever sessions you have missed will be available on your portal, student portal, myprepzone.com.
So all the
Okay.
sessions will be recorded, right, sir?
Yeah, every session will be recorded and you'll have access to it. So whatever has been done so far, it is already available on your portal. Whatever upcoming sessions are there, yesterday evening, I have put a message in the GDPI batch announcement channel with the list of 15, 20 live session and events that are planned. So just have a look at that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Any other question?
Sir, before when all the rapid fire this kind of videos series will complete? Rough dates.
Sheikh, you have to go and check the announcement channel. And Prepzone deadlines will be sacrosanct. This is already announced yesterday. Just go there. We have a schedule that is shared. Every student is aware of it. So be more active on the platform. It is there. Just explore the channel and you'll be able to find it. Announcement channel.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Devashis?
Yeah. Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
So I scored a 97.24 percentile this year, and my profile is 998. I have done BSc in computer science, and I'm a fresher. So is there any chance for Shillong call?
Prashant?
Hello, who is?
So
Yeah.
Devashish this side.
Yeah, Devashish. Can you repeat your question?
So I've scored a 97.24 percentile, and my profile is 998, BSc Honors Computer Science, fresher.
Yeah, you'll be getting.
So Shillong.
Yes.
And any chances for Kozhikode as well?
Yeah, some bleak chances depending on your work ex. You are a fresher or you do you have any work
So
ex?
fresher.
You can get call.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Nitish Maheshwari? Nitish, you have raised your hand. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
I checked on Kaggle. I am getting around 25 marks in Z. So, what college can I expect a call from?
At 25, you can get like exam, BHR, and other these type of colleges only.
IMT?
IMT will be difficult. For IMT, I think you need at least 27 or 28, around 26.
Okay, sir.
But still, it depends on like how many people are scoring because these are absolute scores, so percentile may be different. So just wait for the final results.
Sir, final result will be announced approximately till when?
It used to come around like after 20th of Jan. Maybe this time they come early.
I think third or fourth week of Jan, you'll get your results. And on a score of 25, 26, I guess, given the fact that ZAT was a tad bit tougher this time than last year, I think you can expect TAPMI maybe, IRMA also, uh, edge case on Mica as well. All these things you may expect. Liba bhi hai edge case mein. So these are the couple of colleges that you may crack.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I have shared the content. You all can just check the links that I shared in the chat box. Okay. The first one is the free resource, those personal HR, graduation specific question banks. These are not the exact thing that you would get as a part of the course, but 30-40% of what we give. TK sessions, of course, are not included. And those 50 current affairs summary, that's a Google sheet where topics and a one-page summary is given. Okay. Sheikh, do you have a question? I can see your raise. I can see you have raised your hand. Okay. I'm assuming there is no question. Okay. Cool. Anything else, guys? We'll be here for next 2-3 minutes. I know it's been a long session, 1.5 hours. I expected it to wrap up by in 35, 40, 45 minutes, but yeah, I'm glad it lasted so long. Anything else that is concerning? Else we can wrap up. Fair, guys. If